7. I am here with MetaArcade. How's it going, man?
Hey, it's good to see you.
And who are you?
I'm David Reed. I'm the founder and CEO of MetaArcade.
All right, so tell me the story. How did this all get started?
Yeah, you know, it's like a lot of people in gaming, I have wanted to make my own game for a long time, but I have not been technical for about 2 decades.
Yeah.
I have never been artistic at all, but like a lot of people who've played tabletop RPG stuff, I've written a lot of stories, I've had my own adventures, I got my notebooks from when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Started thinking about how could you build something so that a guy like me, who loves the storytelling and wants to get narrative back into gaming a little more, how could you build something that would let anybody do that? And it really came from that idea of trying to solve my own problem. So started looking at what was going on in the world, and you have all these things now where people, you know, you have Twitch, which lets people become streamers. You have WordPress, which lets people become bloggers. You know, it started coming into my head of, well, you know, if I'm solving this problem for me, maybe I'm solving it for a larger group of people. Maybe there are a lot of people out there who would love the idea of being able to make a game, but for whom a lot of the game making software out there is still too technical. And that led to what we were demoing here at PAX for the first time, the adventure creator, the idea that you're sitting there, typing in your narrative, pulling in art, pulling in audio, compiling and playing a digitally sort of modernized choose your own adventure thing with the RPG engine of Tunnels and Trolls underneath it.
Yeah, so how long have you guys been in development for this idea?
Well, the company officially started in February last year, but development began in May, and we basically put a prototype together in 10 weeks that we brought to Gen Con.
Yeah.
Took it then to PAX West, got our first Best of Show award at PAX West, got very excited about that.
Yeah.
And since then, spent another couple months building what you'll see here with the adventure creator, as well as getting our second adventure in there, Buffalo Castle, which was the first adventure ever published for Tunnels and Trolls.
Right. So you have more than just one adventure you can do. Can you tell me about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So we started with one called Naked Doom, which is a very challenging adventure for people who haven't played it yet. You start as a prisoner convicted of some unknown offense in the seat of imperial power of this fantasy world, and in order to regain your freedom, you need to go through this gauntlet of monsters and traps and you know, poisons, and it's a terribly dangerous place with a high fatality rate. But like most choose your own adventure sort of ideas, as you go through it, you start to figure out, okay, this is a bad path, this is a good path, The difference here, of course, is this is a full-fledged RPG. It is the entirety of the Tunnels and Trolls idea underneath it. So you'll have your digital dice, you'll have a persistent character that goes through. And once you make it through a first adventure, like Naked Doom, you now have a persistent character that you can take into multiple adventures.
Yeah.
And so we just, in our most recent build for the community, put out our second adventure, Buffalo Castle. And Buffalo Castle is a much more forgiving adventure, right? It's really aimed for more novice adventurers and first level characters and things, whereas Naked Doom sort of tests a lot of your old school revival skills and your paranoia and your ability to survive and avoid things and such. And the idea there now is you have a character that you can take through both of those adventures. You can spend the adventure points you get to increase your attributes. We will be adding things like the persistence of inventory. So right now we don't have that here at PAX, but you'll be able to, like, you know, earn a great weapon in Adventure X, take it into Adventure Y.
Wow,
That sort of idea,
That's
and then
cool.
bring a character through. And then once you add in, you know, we've got, as part of what we're doing with the Tunnels and Trolls guys, there's 40 some adventures that have been published over the years that we will just bring onto the platform now that the creation engine is working. But the real vision is, well, geez, there could be hundreds of these things. Like everybody will start making these. We just import more art, we bring in more audio, and let people get into the process of what you'll see here and creating their own adventure, and now that character can go through dozens, hundreds of these things over a period of time.
Right. So what platforms can you play on right now for the game?
Yeah, so in the Sneak Peek community, we've got it running on iOS and Android, so all your iPhones, iPads, and Android phones and tablets. We also have the build running on PC and Mac, but we haven't been able to distribute that yet, but we're showing it off here. We believe in general, for the most part, when you're coming down to create your adventure, you're probably going to want to do it on a computer with a mouse and a keyboard and, you know, a little more user interface. But we do believe the best way to play it is going to be on mobile, that you're just going to love having it in your hands on a phone or a tablet. And so that's our expectation. We need to be on both of those things.
So do you have any idea of when the general public might get their hands on this? When we can?
Well, you know, right now, anybody can come into the Sneak Peek at this point, right? So if people just go to MetaArcade.com and register, we can get you into Sneak Peek where people can start playing on iOS and Android. And that'll just be with Naked Doom, with Buffalo Castle, and what we will be doing after PAX, as we're all sitting here making the PAX South Mega Adventure, we will release it to that community, so now you'll have a third adventure to go play through, and it'll be just written by all the people that are here. And then what we need to think through, based on the feedback we get here, is when can we release the adventure creator out to a larger group of people and begin a sneak peek of that.
That was my next question.
That is something that, personally, I want to get it done as soon as we can, you know, and this is our first real, you know, alpha test of it right here live in front of everybody. We'll see how that goes. We'll get the feedback. We'll harden the build a bit, and we'll start distributing that as well. I don't think it'll be long before people are able to try this stuff out on their PCs and Macs, both in terms of playing the adventures that we've already got and starting to create their own. And then from there, it's just a matter of getting them distributed out. I mean, the real vision here, again, coming back to the ideas of Twitch and WordPress and Kindle publishing and things, is that people can make these things, can distribute them out on the App Store and Google Play and Steam, and when people play your adventure, you're going to make money from that, right? In the same way that these platforms have empowered millions of people to become content creators, many of whom are doing it for a living now, right? You know, that can be your job now as a Twitch streamer or a YouTube video celebrity or what have you. We believe there's room in the world for somebody to be the PewDiePie, if you will, of adventure creation. That's really the vision of what we're aiming at, and getting there as fast as we can.
Because, you know, Dungeons and Dragons type stuff is coming back so strong. You know, everyone wants to be able to play a tabletop game mobile, so this sounds great. So where can we find you? Where your social media? Where can people follow you to get more information?
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you. Well, the easiest thing to do is follow us on Facebook and Twitter at MetaArcade.
All right.
Or just to go follow our news page and sign up for our newsletter at MetaArcade.com. I personally am at Pokethulhu on Twitter. That's P-O-K-E-T-H-U-L-H-U, which is the portmanteau, if you will, of Pokemon and Cthulhu. So that's where I'm at. And yeah, we're looking for a lot of community feedback. We're really excited about the reception we've gotten so far, but this really begins when we start getting the creator out there and we see the adventures people make. It really comes back to, at some level, the aspiration that I think many of us have to be game designers, and you know, we don't all have the time to go get a degree to learn Unity or whatever. And at the same time, the fact that when you look in gaming, and in particular at mobile gaming, not a lot of quality narrative there. And so this is an idea about letting people's storytelling shine and giving you a chance to experience hundreds and hundreds of stories as you go.
Fantastic. Well, guys, you make sure you check it out. Follow them on Twitter. I'm playing it now. It's fantastic. If you love tabletop games on a mobile, you're going to love this, especially the creative part where you get to write your own story. Appreciate it.
Right on. Thank you.
Hope you have great PAX.
Awesome. You as well.
Thank you.